Your DNA holds 12 hidden frequencies that can unlock your spiritual awakening. Most people live their entire lives never knowing these crystalline tones exist within them. These are not just genetic codes, they are vibrational keys to higher consciousness. Each of the 12 strands carries a unique crystal tone. When activated properly, they create a symphony of transformation that awakens dormant abilities and connects you to your true divine nature. The ancient wisdom keepers knew this secret, and now modern science is beginning to catch up. Ready to discover how to tune into your own DNA's hidden frequencies? Join me, ChristoLight, for the next episode where I reveal practical activation techniques that can change everything. Your awakening is waiting.
Our founder claims. This right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum. Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe. Mea sono kote na ene sino kono te maya shino kona te yana tukota mea he shikoma te hikoko komati nuto shiana kia okayana te ma oshiki marani kurura shikiteria tutu ara yakino kota te yana te marikina kotora na kie Oto yanata, yanakin natatino kunata. Welcome to Grand Rising with ChristoLight. That was a channeled message from our crystal beings. Today, this episode, we are exploring our crystal tones, the harmonics of our 12-strand DNA, how to activate, how to cleanse, how to balance, this 12-strand crystal DNA that we have. Today we focus on the mind's eye as well. Our portal, our energy center, our access to our psychic body, our light body. The mind's eye, the third eye chakra, is the center for our psychic abilities. It is the center to access our light body that is metaphysical, around and through our physical human body. Burn a little bit of white sage for us. Welcome in, everyone. Get comfortable, tune in, relax. Feel free to grab your tea, coffee, any snacks, burn sage, grab your crystals, maybe make a beautiful altar, do some yoga, do some stretches while you listen. Get comfortable, make yourself at home. Welcome to this episode, Grand Rising with ChristoLight. So, before we begin our exploration and deep dive into the crystal tone harmonics that help activate, balance, and charge our 12-strand Christ conscious DNA. Before we dive in, let's go ahead and take a recap to last week and pick up on where we left off on Thursday. Got from a Krishna temple in West Virginia called the Palace of Gold of the cosmos, as well as the integrity of ourselves, recognizing that laws which govern the universe also govern us, makes us able to return to our true nature. Ooh, what a way to kick off, how beautiful. And that is from the introduction to Tao, which I received from a traditional Chinese Tao ceremony. The Master Christos Collective. So the Orifim are the double diamond sun body of the Christos that are here on the planet to direct the universal threefold founder flame frequencies to repair the architecture of the planetary grid, as well as communicate with the Aurora for the Aurora crystal matrix re-encryption of elemental body projects, with the Master Christos Collective, a consortium of beings that are from the higher 7 heavens realms, which are lead into the higher creation realms of the God worlds. They are united crystal star matrix collective of beings from multiple God realms that are in alliance with the crystal star and Aurora re-encryption projects. Their role is to unite all identities of the personal Christ through all precision of the equinoxes. It's a great way to activate your energy and reestablish your sovereignty, protection, and 12-dimensional diamond shield. So enjoy and just allow yourself to receive.
The 12-dimensional shield building technique. My declaration of intention is to serve my source.
They are families of the Christ star, the crystal star, and bring to the earth plane the aurora elements, which are also called the new earth elemental command. If you guys would like to, feel free to connect with this image for a moment. This is the Christos guardian race image. Maybe take a few breaths and just gaze into those rays.
Maharic shield pre-matter template through which the full 12 dimensions of genuine Christ consciousness can embody when the 12-strand template is fully activated. Each tribe has the fire letters in each strand template arranged in a different order or sequence. The DNA template is the electromagnetic blueprint through which specific frequencies and corresponding dimensions of consciousness are drawn into manifest embodiment from the universal unified field of energy consciousness.
4. Master Key Codes. Use of the personal scalar waveguide symbol code programs that correspond directly to the core programming of the personal D12 Maharic shield for further sequential expedition of strand.
All right. So that is where we left off on last episode, which was Thursday. And now we are going to go ahead and deep dive into the crystal harmonic tones that we are able to activate, attune, and become aware of in our conscious life. Now, these crystal tones, these are organic, these are natural tones that actually make up the fabric of our whole entire human DNA. So without these tones, there is no DNA. So when we activate these tones and we bring more awareness, so we put more life into these tones, we are putting more life, more activation, more cleansing and purification to our 12-strand DNA as a human being. And if you know about DNA on any level, DNA is everything for a human being because it's the coding and it's the genetics that allow light to turn into physical matter to assimilate your human avatar. So a little bit about DNA. I learned about what DNA was in depth through channeling, through inward meditation, going back to 2015. 2015, I started to do deep meditation within myself, where I would ask questions to the universe, and then I would go into stillness within myself and allow the channel to come through clear. And this is in the beginning of my awakening back in 2014, 2015, before I was really deeply aware of this stuff. And I would sit, and this really came to me because I was in a situation where a good friend of mine, he had gone really far on his spiritual journey, became a Reiki master, shamanic healer, all these different things. And he was born and grew up in a heavily dogmatic religion. So what had happened was some of that old programming was conflicting, and it was spilling unconsciously into our relationship while we were also advancing spiritually. So this caused me to question the relationship of Jesus because of the way that it was being pressured onto me. So I then went to meditation, and I wanted to find out the answers for myself of who is Jesus in this world? What is my relationship to him? So I sat by myself in my room in one of my old houses, and I went into stillness within myself, and I journaled what the answers were that came to me. And little insight, I discovered my psychic mediumship in 2015 while I was in jail. I did automatic writing and connected with my dad's uncle for the first time. So I asked this question about Jesus, and then what came to me through automatic writing was that, number one, Jesus is not any greater or any less than any of us. He is a soul brother that is just another representative of the law of one. Number two, he was teaching through the I am from the standpoint of the universal I am. So when he says I am, he's speaking as you, he's speaking as me, he's speaking as all of us. When he says, I am the way, I am the truth, things of that nature, he's saying that because we are all the I am. And then lastly was that I'm from the same council that Yeshua is from as well in this galaxy, that I work with and am a part of the same teams. And I also communicate with on multidimensional levels, the same council that Yeshua is a part of. Now, if you've been a part of this series, there are episodes where we learn that Yeshua comes from the Lyran Syrian Council. So he works with the gold ray and the blue ray, both together. God's will and interpersonal illumination. So that's a little bit about my insight into how I learned about my relationship with Yeshua, his universal relationship, and also how I kind of got into this way of life through inner exploration, through stillness, through questioning the higher spirit and only receiving the answer from the stillness of spirit within myself. So I've been learning and sharing about a lot of all of this galactic knowledge about Earth history, about ascended masters and guides, and the true history of this planet, all the way 14. So I fascinate these things, and the way that I discovered them again through my own introspection, through my own inner stillness. Through my own conscious asking of the universe for the answers, and then this to be. So I almost forgot what I was getting to there with everything, because it was getting so deep. To wrap that up, was how I learned about what came to me through my channelings. You know what? Actually, if you guys give me one moment, stay here with me. I'm gonna grab my journal where I literally wrote this stuff down back in 2015. Now I'll read directly out of the journal and show you guys what I channeled in 2015, 10 years ago, at 20 years old, in my spiritual awakening. So just give me one moment. You guys enjoy some music, vibe out moment, and I'll be right back. All right. Man, that's fun. So I got my journal from 2015. Thank you guys for being patient with me. So you guys are going to read my authentic channelings that I meditated on from 2015 in the beginning of my awakening. So let's see here. November 16th, 2014, 2015. 2015. All right, so we have here that number one, it is depending on us on this planet to be the saviors of this planet. So we may think that we need to wait for a savior or give praise to a savior, but what I got from my clear download channel was that it ain't about you guys waiting for someone or calling in somebody. We came here to answer the call. And that is why we incarnated here on this planet, to be the saviors. Beginning with ourselves. So then we have DNA patterns are basic to all planetary life and are really third dimensional projections of fourth dimensional etheric aligned light. So the spiritual being is temporarily residing in a physical body maintained by an astral body, emotional body, causal body, mental body, and beyond. A succession of continuously refining elements quite beyond our ability to adequately describe as humans. DNA attaches physical cells to your light energy or spiritual substance. So that's why we have gene keys and gene coding in our DNA, because that coding is the light and sound transferring and expressing into the material realm. Just like the Pink Floyd cover, I always think of the Pink Floyd triangle. You can see the spectrum of pure white light, and then it hits the form, which is the triangle. Then through the form, it projects the rainbow spectrum. And that is how we are as humans as well. So then accomplished by downloading etheric DNA graphics into a sort of 3D holographic printout. So this physical body is basically like a holographic simulated printout. And then we're in preparation for ascension, provided with an additional 12 or 13 DNA strands. The third strand is the ability to ascend into matter at will and reascend as spiritual light. So it's like instant transmission. For those of you that like Dragon Ball Z, when Goku puts his fingers on his third eye, and then all of a sudden his physical body teleports and transports to another place. We're actually capable of doing that as humans, but we got to be able to train and develop our being to be aligned with a higher and light 12-dimensional frequency and really embody that. And then when we embody that, our physical form will then shapeshift into a 12-dimensional support system. But that's a big journey, and it's a task, and it takes dedication and devotion in this third dimensional plane as a human being to get there. And then lastly, I'm connected with a feline ship, as in a Lyran and leaders in the universal game of soul evolution. So we're integrating polarities through learning. And then talk about access over soul into the physical. Activate your Merkaba, the crown crystal chakra, dormant psychic glands, and this will make you fully conscious in a third dimensional body. Oh, it talks about here the Sphinx. The Sphinx is aligned flying bean statue. Meant to represent Lyra. Then it talks about, so planet is Planet. You cross out the T, it makes plane. So then what came through is that we're on the, therefore our perception is of the 3D, till we fix our DNA to ascend, parallel universes of each dimension. So it's really interesting, you know. Plane, take the T out of planet, and you have plane. This is a plane of existence. That's and I'd love to hear any of your experiences or any of your feedback as well on things that you've channeled throughout your life or had divinely downloaded through you as well. So let's go ahead and dive in to our lesson for today. And we're going to be talking about the crystal tones. Well, DNA strand. And as you just learned, there are different parts of the different strands of our DNA that help us access different parts of our higher light body. Alrighty. Hydration check for everybody. All right. So the crystal tones, Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, A, La. Okay. There's a frequency, tone, and geometry recorded in the silicate matrix of the DNA. DNA signal that is being imprinted in new ways with the crystal tones. This is a large aurora project that has to do with re-encryption of the flesh and therefore reconfiguring the DNA elements of the human body to be resonant with the frequencies of the diamond sun body. These 7 tones of original creation are broken down into Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, A, La, Krystal. When we tone these individually, they hold a piece of a larger somatic that fits into the crystal, God's sovereign free body, the diamond sun Christo's blueprint. These tones are not to be confused with Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, Ha, La. Before we even continue into the crystal tones more, let's see what Ascension Glossary has to say about DNA. So DNA. Current mainstream sciences define DNA as deoxyribose nucleic acid as the hereditary material in humans and almost all other organisms. Nearly every cell in a person's body has the same DNA. DNA is a molecule that encodes the genetic instructions used in the development and functioning of all known living organisms and many viruses. DNA is a nucleic acid alongside proteins and carbohydrates. Nucleic acids compose the three major macromolecule essential for all known forms of life. However, the Emerald Guardians inform us that the original human DNA imprint is referred to as the silicate matrix. It is a 12-strand diamond sun DNA template. Since the Luciferian Rebellion, humanity's DNA was unplugged and higher functioning DNA was lost. DNA, RNA, and proteins. All living beings are reliant on these three main molecules for essentially all of the biological functions. These molecules are DNA, RNA, and proteins. Two strands of DNA run in opposite directions to each other and are therefore adjacent to each other, anti-parallel. It is the sequence of these four nitrogen bases along with the backbone that encodes biological information under the genetic code. RNA strands are translated to specify the sequence of amino acids within proteins. These RNA strands are initially created using DNA strands as a template in a process called transcription. Without DNA, RNA, and proteins, no biological life would exist on Earth. Chemicals of life. Chemicals are substances made up of one or more elements bonded together, which generally indicated the chemical interaction that happens between the substance. A chemical substance is a form of matter having constant chemical composition and characteristic properties. However, when discussing the fundamental process of DNA, we are primarily concerned with the proteins, which are the chemicals of life. DNA proteins. In DNA, the nitrogenous base is made up of nucleic acids. We got C, G, A, and T. Metaphysically, each of these nucleic acids is connected to the elemental substance of the planet as air, water, fire, and earth. When we pollute these four elements on the earth, we pollute the corresponding nucleic acid in our DNA. As a result of human DNA digression from the original silicate matrix, we are missing the proper amount of nucleic acids. DNA base pairs, male and female. The main biological function of a nitrogenous base in DNA is to bond nucleic acids together. Adenine is always paired with thymine, and glutamine is always paired with cytosine. These are known as base pairs. Uracil is only oh my gosh, I gotta slow down. Ooh, the energy is flowing. Uracil is only present in RNA, replacing thymine and pairing with adenine. Both RNA and DNA use base pairs, male and female, as a complementary language that can be converted back and forth between the DNA to RNA by the action of the correct enzymes. This male-female language or base pair structure provides a backup copy of all genetic information encoded within double-strand DNA. Reverse pairing. This pairing always occurs in specific combinations. The reverse base pairing of DNA, as well as many levels of genetic modification and genetic control, contribute to the suppression of DNA synthesis. This is the intentional suppression of DNA activation of the 12-strand original design, the silicate matrix, which is assembled and built by proteins. This genetic suppression has been aggressive since the Atlantis fall. This is directly related to the suppression of hierogamic union, which is divine union, which is achieved by proper DNA base pairing, which can build and assemble the proteins to unscramble DNA fire letters. DNA unplugged. This is the reference point to our current historical record, where the human DNA was unplugged on the Earth, and all galactic war memories and our true origins were erased from our memories by the negative agenda. DNA and vibratory digression began a gradual descent from the Orion group population, coming to the Earth from primarily 208,000 years ago in the Orion Wars. However, the major event that unplugged DNA in humanity was when the Sumerian Egypt invasion transpired about 5,500 years ago. Until this point in the timeline, humans retained memories of their galactic history. Wow. So we now have learned that around 5,500 years ago, during the Sumerian Egypt invasion, there was a major damaging to our DNA. And then that scrambled our history and galactic and Earth history memories. Wow. It makes so much sense why we just really, as an overall collective, are so out of tune with our past, with our ancestors, with our ancient history, what actually happened in Egypt, how things have been built, how we have gotten to where we are as a civilization. I mean, all these things are things to really know if we want to be a elevating, conscious, and evolving society. We got to be able to learn from our past. We got to be able to know our wisdom. So original DNA is silicate. The original instruction set, blueprint, of our DNA is a lattice of pure liquid crystal, an ideal transmitter and receiver of energetic resonance, intercommunication and perceiving a variety of levels of consciousness. The original instruction set is what connects our consciousness to experience the God source levels of our personal Christ consciousness. 12 strands DNA. The original human DNA pattern is arranged into 12 dimensionalized mathematical programs, each of which set the blueprint for one DNA strand. Each strand is comprised of 12 base magnetic female codes, or myons, and 12 base electrical male acceleration codes, or dions. The 12 base codes and 12 acceleration codes hold the mathematical program for each double helix strand, which combine to form a set of 12 vector codes. One base code plus one acceleration code is equal to one vector code. The 12 vector codes of the human genome manifest as 12 nucleotides that form the nucleotide base pairs, which are the entire DNA strands, are composed. Due to the NDC, also called the checkerboard mutation, which you see a lot of these secret societies symbolizing through music and movies, the checkerboard mutation, unnatural sonic control program installed in the planetary field, only 4 of the vector codes have been active in biological Earth life since the rebellion. The foundations of human DNA is miniaturized crystal frequency, that is patterns of electromagnetic light that magnetically group into crystalline form. These multidimensional crystalline templates are referred to as DNA seed codes. The DNA seed code, the template for our DNA strand, is composed of 12 magnetic particle units and 12 electrical antiparticle units. Each DNA strand is composed of the frequency pattern and light spectrum of one dimensional band. Each DNA strand represents a fire letters code program sequence corresponding to one dimensional frequency band of consciousness. 24 seed codes equals one DNA strand. The level of frequencies that are accreted into the personal morphogenic field will determine the level of DNA strand assembly that you possess. As a person pulls in more frequency bands from the multidimensional unified fields, the personal frequency accretion levels rise, and thus more DNA codes can assemble and activate. Wow, this is really good stuff. So missing chromosomes. On Earth, human chromosomes have been tampered with as a result of alien hybridization and genetic modification, and thus humanity is missing a large amount of chromosomal material at multiple layers of the DNA molecule or strings. We should have 12 chromosomes per DNA strand, and the original human 12-strand DNA silicate matrix has a total of 144 chromosomes. Currently, with an average of 3 active DNA strands for the majority of the Earth population, humans should actually have 36 functioning chromosomes. Yet, we only have 23 that are active. Chromo means color, so when we begin to ponder the color wave spectrum that makes up the dimensional reality layers, this may give us a clue to the chromosomal distortions that are related to the visible light, or shocker wave distortions that are directly impacting the chromosomal functions. If the negative agenda use artificial technology to eliminate a certain color, sound tone from running into the planetary field, they can potentially eliminate that chromosomal and ray color record and its imprint that should be actively held within the human DNA molecule. Most of our genes are stored in our chromosomes, which sit in each cell's headquarters of the nuclei. We also have some genes and small structures in the cell called mitochondria, which hold an active potential for igniting the Krystal gene. Mitochondria are sometimes called the power plants of the cell because they work on molecules to make them ready to give us the energy that we need for all of our bodily functions. The mitochondrial genes always pass from the mother to the child. Fathers get their mitochondrial genes from their mothers. They do not pass them to their children. So last one of this part here, chemicals of life run human DNA. With the invader agenda for genetic modification to usurp and even eliminate the mother's DNA language from the planet, the human race suffers without properly functioning mitochondrial DNA that is unable to effectively generate the new proteins for DNA synthesis for the activating the Krystal gene. If the DNA had been functioning naturally, the genetic sequences of the mother and father lines would generate their respective sugar phosphate instructional sets to build the DNA base code and accelerate code into genetic pair bonds of natural chromosomes, which further forms into the sugar phosphate molecules that further perform as the chemical process of building the DNA ladder. The sugar phosphate inherited from the mother line provides the blueprint for the 12 DNA base codes of the magnetic particle imprints gained from the mother's genetics, along with the sugar phosphate instruction set, which form into the 12 DNA acceleration codes that are inherited from the father's genetic. The checkerboard mutation in the 11-dimensional Stargate network was intended to function as a DNA scrambler and gender splitter of the 12-strand Diamond Sun DNA template, in which to scramble the cellular alphabet and extract the sugar phosphate instruction sets, which prevent the base 12 nucleotide formation, which has caused genetic mutations. The genetic mutations are caused from scrambling the electromagnetic pairing between the mother's magnetic codes and the father's electrical codes, gender reversal of pair bonds, further scrambling the sugar phosphate chains, interfering with every natural chromosome and genetic component recorded in the DNA. Wow, this is really deep stuff. But that's what we're here for. So go ahead and go over to the silicate matrix so we can understand what the silicate matrix is. So the silicate matrix, the original human genetic imprint designed to manifest 12 strings of DNA, which would allow for interdimensional travel and existence without deterioration of the biological form. It must be repaired, built, or activated. The original angelic human 12-strand DNA is called the Diamond Sun DNA. The Orphan, original prototype for angelic humans that was created by the founders, has a 24-strand DNA and is called the double Diamond Sun body DNA. Therefore, there is a 48-strand DNA founder race line called the Emerald Sun DNA. See the threefold flame or Emerald Order. It is important to be aware that there is always support given for DNA rehabilitation programs for achieving ascension and not fallen entities. such as the Anunnaki hybrid fallen angelics can choose to clear their DNA distortions and cellular alphabet scrambling that run Metatronic and anti-life reversals. Incredible amount of resources and effort has been made by the Guardian host to assist fallen and digressive DNA lines to rehabilitate their genetics through rehabilitation and regenesis programs. The spiritual purpose for DNA assembly. Previous to the Atlantis fall, each of the groups of the angelic human 12 Essene tribes were entrusted as guardians of a section of the Emerald Founder records, which held extensive consciousness knowledge about the star origins and genetic template information that was recorded on 12 holographic discs. All 12 genetic components of the 12 tribes hold one strand of DNA code for reassembling the crystal gene for the diamond sun body or silicate matrix that is key coded to activate the 12 layers of the planetary Stargate system. This provides the means to contact our higher stations of identity as spiritual bodies and to connect with the conscious living light and sound frequencies in the holographic matrix. The instruction sets to rebuild and reassemble the 12-strand DNA pattern are held in the genetic codes found in the cosmic ChristoLight blueprint, which make up the 12 tree grid manifestation template. Through the individual and planetary spiritual ascension process that takes place during several root race evolution cycles, the integration and healing of all 12 levels of DNA coding through its genetic components potentially unite and merge to form the complete silicate matrix. These dual forces of polarity, male and female, are designed to spiritually integrate and synthesize with the angelic human body, which naturally evolved on the ascending earth. As a result of the forces of alchemy and energetic synthesis made between inner and outer layers of these multidimensional consciousness forces, the spiritual embodiment of the original 12-strand DNA of the diamond sun body is then made available to the planet and humanity through DNA assembly. Thus, ascending individuals are gradually repairing and regenerating their DNA template so they are able to open and move through stargates safely. The diamond sun body represents full consciousness freedom for an ascending human being, in which the inner Christos is fully activated with the flowering of the sacred crystal heart. As a result, the spiritually ascending human is able to transmute their consciousness out of time and into 0 point, moving through stargates into another location. Therefore, they are free to leave the prison planet, freed from the enforced mind control and reincarnation cycle occurring in the lower density on Earth. Wow. So this is pretty interesting. Mathematical expansion for inner stability or inner sustainability. So the crystal architecture is self-perpetuating and inner sustaining. Its math is represented by including 0 point or 0 in its numerological sequence. Think about that. Think about how many things start with 1 instead of 0. Just think about that for a moment. And think about how that can steer our perception and timeline of reality that we're in. Through doubling each numerological value, each of the numerological value is derived through returning to 0 and adding all of the numbers together to get to the next highest value in the sequence. The value of 0 represents the central point of union, or 0 point God source, which, while increasing the values of the crystal spiral, the consciousness remains connected to the original source while progressively expanding. So think about that. How come they're not teaching us since kindergarten, pre-K, when we count, start with 0 at 0 point, but instead to always start at 1? So think about that. I'm going to read this sentence to you again. The value of 0 represents the center point of union, or the 0 point God source, while increasing the values of the crystal spiral, the consciousness remains connected to the original source field while progressively expanding. Again, I'm going to read that very last sentence, and I'd love to see what you guys have to say or reflect upon with that last sentence. Then I'll give you guys my insight. So while increasing the value of the crystal spiral, the consciousness remains connected to the original source while progressively expanding. So just think about that. If we're always starting at 1, we're always doing our math with 1 being the first number instead of 0. You think about what I just read, 0 point, or having a connection to the 0 point field, is what keeps us anchored and connected to source energy with what it is that we are doing with numbers. So here we are living in this matrix where everything basically starts with 1. And 0 is just 0. It just doesn't have any existence whatsoever. It's not even a part of counting. It's quite interesting. So I'm going to read this part, then we'll watch a video, and then we will close out on the crystal tones. So shifting carbon density. There were groups of souls that were responsible to anchor and work with the first 5 DNAs in the Earth experiment and working with those particular levels of consciousness. Our original goal was to re-evolve the human divine template to its original intention, which has 12-strand DNA, which would mean 12 simultaneous dimensions of existence while still retaining a particle type of form. The form would not be this dense in terms of the carbon material our physical elemental body is comprised of at this time. It would be more of a silicate or etheric plasma waves type of nature. This is where we are going. We are clearing the carbon-based density out of our molecular and subatomic structures and becoming less dense and more refined, and that we are starting to anchor more of our actual crystalline structure, which is of a silicate crystalline base. We can imagine that as we go through this transformation, it can be very intense at times. It's like taking the most dense carbon, a carbon atom, and attempting to alchemically shift that into more and more refined states of oscillating patterns of higher consciousness and vibration. So that is our goal at this time as a natural part of what the ascension process is. So it's important to keep that in mind. Good stuff. All right, so we'll take a pause from the study and the reading, and we'll go ahead and watch a video.
When the tones of ChristoLight or Krystal are woven into a complete pattern, they are an actual Merkaba spirit body. This spirit body of crystal star consciousness is phonetically spelled something like Krystala or Krystala, which also describes and explains the male and female merged risen Christo's body. ChristoLight or Krystal is a process of encryption. ChristoLight or Krystala is the end result male/female merged risen Christo's body. The crystal star suggests that sounding or communicating with these tones in meditation, prayer, music, or breath work is helpful for aurora re-encryption, to refocus the mole patterns and integrate the crystal aegis diamond breastplate to support soul and oversoul integration between the bodies. Variety in the individual ascension stages and our material compiled here may be overwhelming to navigate. Please take in only what feels right for you and discard the rest. However, we have some quick suggestions on how to begin right now. Take a 30-day challenge with the 12D Shield and refocusing your ego/personality mind and see the results you get with daily use. The following is important information and steps to introduce you to the ES material and provide tools to utilize right away. Please browse and try out all the material as you feel guided. However, please note, the Ascension material is densely packed with information and often overwhelming for people newly acquainted with these terms. Take it in at your own pace. However, remain consistent and dedicated with your practice and you will experience many improvements, such as in mental and emotional freedom. Activate your 12D Shield as a daily practice meditation. Clear negative ego fear programs. Mental discipline through devoted focus and meditation to expand consciousness. Resolve emotional conflicts in the pain body. Yes, core triad daily techniques.
All right. So there's another perception and voice of, these crystal tone harmonics and what they are for us in our human life. So as we continue on, and before we go back into reading more about the crystal tones, feel free to drop comments, questions, anything else that you feel like expressing, feel free to put in the comments. Very interactive space, so feel free to express yourself. What do you guys think about this? For me, I feel like personally this is something that I may want to take a few minutes every day and just fine tune, to sit with the affirmations, or I should say the tones, and just maybe give myself like a couple of minutes of just sitting with the tones and just reattuning each one. I wouldn't see what that would do to hurt. Maybe do it before bed as well. Do it right before bed. Activate those crystalline tones. Then allow them to work through your being as you sleep. Just ideas. So I'm going to share with you guys real quick. If you don't know yet, I do host a international holistic and shamanic community. This is a worldwide community that I host online. Of course, we do things locally as well. And this community is full of psychics, visionaries, starseeds, readers, practitioners, organic product makers, home hygiene creators, as well as crystal shop owner. And not only that, but we also just added into our community someone that makes their own sourdough bread and other bread products at home. And you guys can order from them and support all of them that I just named. So take a look, the Sacred Kingdom community. We have a Facebook, we have a YouTube, podcast, and you guys can also be a part of this community. We are building a new earth system within our community and helping others achieve that new earth embodiment as well. Great place to develop your practices in private, to receive from others in private, and build community with a soul family. Check it out. Hey, what's going on? Marcus ChristoLight here, founder and member of the Sacred Kingdom community. I am so excited to share with you guys the directory and some insight into the beautiful members that we have a part of the council of the Sacred Kingdom community, a international, worldwide, sacred community of soul family, full of starseeds, visionaries, artists, practitioners, shamans, as well as handcrafters and organic product makers. We have such a beautiful variety of amazing quality of organic products, including crystals as well, holistic and quantum healing services, all available in one link page directory for you. And you guys may be able to find who resonates for you, either locally in your area or online through the Sacred Kingdom community. So take a look. Welcome to the Sacred Kingdom community link page, where you guys can access everything Sacred Kingdom that's available worldwide 24/7. First link you'll see is the Facebook page, and you'll be able to take a browse and follow, keep up with any activity through Facebook if you're a Facebook user. Then we have the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is designed with a playlist for each member that is a part of the YouTube channel, so you can access and see content specific to each individual. Now we have holistic healing retreats that are led by myself, Marcus ChristoLight of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And then we have other members of the community that join in with these retreats to help build and bring connective community. These holistic retreats have workshops, live music, plant-based food, and much more. Then we have Lunar Queen and Organics Essence. This is an online crystal shop. She has a wide variety of crystals, greatly priced, high quality, organic with no dyes. Along with that, she also does card readings, and you can book with her. Then we have Eagle's Hearth Ministry and Sacraments, Grandma Katie Sing Eagle, with her tinctures, salves, lotions, herbal products, and much more. Jade's Wellness Trade. Jade's Wellness Trade is a fully organic line, all plant and herbal based, when it comes to home hygiene products such as soaps, shampoos, conditioners, and much more. Operation Oscar Mike. Wow. Where to begin? A good fellow of mine, AJ Lardy, his friends Scott and Eric, own a alternative healing nonprofit business to help military and first responders to bridge with alternative healing. Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, myself, Marcus ChristoLight, Reiki, Akashic meditations, as well as inner child healing, shadow work, and more. And then we have Shining Soul Healing and Wellness, QHHT, quantum hypnosis, as well as herbal-based healing products with Sarah Broadhead. Soul Awakening with Sandra Marshall out of California, a wonderful podcaster, as well as lecturer and educator. And then we have Soulista Healing with Christina out of Pennsylvania. You guys can check out our link page anytime. And you guys can browse and book with services, purchase crystals and organic products. Along with that, we also do host retreats together and other events. We have online spaces like full moon and new moon events, and much more to come. Tune into our podcast on the YouTube channel, Sacred Kingdom. Reach out if you'd like to become a member and grow with this community as we continue to bring generational wealth and healing to all generations of planet Earth. One love. All right. So that is a little insight into the Sacred Kingdom community, the link page that you guys can access, explore, browse, and book at any time with your own leisure. It's beautiful because you have this directory in your hands 24/7 to be able to look and see what practitioners, what sidekicks, what shaman, or what crystal shop owner or organic home hygiene creator can I connect with through the Sacred Kingdom link page. And then you have access to all of their sites. You just click on each one, and then boom, you're right there. book, purchase, support. Thank you guys. So if you haven't yet, like, share, subscribe, Sacred Kingdom on YouTube, follow on Facebook, the Sacred Kingdom community, and we'll always be up to date, sharing the beautiful gifts that we have. And we have some really beautiful things coming, especially in 2026, including some things like mystery schools, as well as courses and programs and mentorship for all of you guys out there in the public. Big things coming, and we're just getting started. So with that, let's get back into our study for today, and that is the crystal tone harmonics. All right, the crystal tones. So when the tones of Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, La are woven into a complete pattern, they are an actual Merkaba spirit body. The spirit body of crystal star consciousness is phonetically spelled something like Krystala or Christ Hala. So this means male and female merged, risen Christos body. Ka Ra Ya Sata Allah crystal is a process of encryption. Ka Ra Ya Sata Ha La Christ Hala Krystala is the end result, male female merged risen Christos body. So the crystal star suggests that sounding or communicating with these tones in meditation and prayer, music or breath work is helpful for aurora re-encryption, to refocus the mind, break through mind control patterns, and integrate the crystal aegis, diamond breastplate, to support soul and oversoul integration between the bodies. Crystal aegis. With the recalibration that is required for the ES community container, we are undergoing further changes in order for each of us to become in alignment with our true inner Christos, spiritual nature. As of January 2013, our planet has shifted not only in vibration, but in its core energetic structure, which is also referred to as planetary hosting. The crystal host is now making changes within the core frequency structures, as well as the instruction set on our planet, which has great impacts upon our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. These core tones are Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, La. The support for healing and reintegrating these 7 tones is contained within the Crystal Aegis section of the ES website. The Crystal Aegis section, combined with the suggested meditation upon these 7 tones, are designed for heart and core healing to regenerate mental fragmentation through its 7 gemstones. This Aurora Guardian healing template is called the Crystal Aegis breastplate. The Crystal Aegis, these community pages, are for self-involved intervention to focus to discipline an addicted mind, destructive mind, or unhealthy lifestyle. If you are addicted, possessed, obsessed, and losing control of your life, this is a hard study program to clear the grips of mind control. The imperative goal is to achieve 3 major improvements in A. Applying the right effort to the discipline of your mind through spiritual practice. B. Applying the right thinking to discipline your mind through clearing negative ego. C. Applying the right meditation to develop skill in the focus and attention of your personal energies. Right effort, right thinking, right meditation. The Crystal Aegis diamond breastplate The crystal aegis breastplate purpose is to prepare the body to receive the 7 core ChristoLight tones in the double diamond sun body, and to set the inner foundation to build and activate the gems in the crystal aegis breastplate to activate these 7 tones to protect the physical body, diamond heart, and soul bodies. These rainbow pastels are moving lights of frequency that source from the aurora diamond light that move into specific patterns as a reaction to the crystal consciousness mirror when they are being observed. The following meditation is to build the crystal aegis breastplate at one's aura. You know, that kind of reminds me of something reading about that. These crystal tones and things of that nature. It makes me think about something that's very familiar to a lot of us. And it's from a movie, it's from an old comic, but it is about the Infinity Stones. What do I mean by the Infinity Stones? Well, I'm talking about the Infinity Stones from the Avengers. We learn about Thanos with the glove, and he's collecting all the different stones of the universe. Quite fascinating. And it's almost like all these different Infinity Stones represent different crystal harmonics of the universe. Very fascinating. So you learn about these Infinity Stones, how they have properties. One stone is for space, one is for the mind, one is for reality, one is for power, one is for time, and one is for soul. And then Thanos, who is a character that tries to do anything possible to achieve universal balance for the universe, according to what he believes is balance. So it's very fascinating. And I think I'm going to kind of get more into watching the Infinity Wars again from the Marvel series. Because those Marvel movies and the comics, they have a lot of channeling and a lot of things that connect us to our universal knowledge. So I just wanted to share that for a moment. I thought that was pretty interesting, and that came up within me. So let's continue and finish off our study on the crystal tone harmonics. If you guys would like to, feel free to connect with this image of the crystal breastplate. Take a moment to gaze into that with your mind's eye. Receive, process the energies. Whew. All right. These images are great that I show you guys throughout these episodes. They're really good for activation. So building the 144 harmonics. So it suggests a community meditation to recode the inner and outer harmonics to hold the ChristoLight tones in the San Graal Stargate in Sarasota, Florida. Visited in October 2013. Interesting. Sarasota, Florida. Florida's been calling, so it'd be interesting to go to that Stargate. So build a strong inner core foundation to house our entire inner spiritual light presence, and to prepare our bodies to hold the crystal Aegis breastplate, to restring the full octave of each of the 12 harmonic dimensions. Align light symbol codes and crystal key lines in divine alignment to soul and light fusion with axiom lines and DNA chain and DNA double helix bonded to the eternal God body, connected to crystic plasmic waves for bass tones, overtones, and interdimensional tone resonators of ChristoLight. Repeat Karaya Satala and focus on your crystal Aegis breastplate. Imagine each gemstone on the breastplate glowing and emanating its quality of frequency of liquid light as you say each of the tones. So where can I start? We realize that there is so much variety in the individual ascension stages, and our material compiled here may be overwhelming to navigate. Please take in only what feels right to you and discard the rest. However, we have some quick suggestions on how to begin right now. Take a 30-day challenge with the 12D shield, refocusing your ego and personality mind, and see the results you get with daily use. The following is important information and steps to introduce you to the ES material and provide tools to utilize right away. Please browse and try out all the material as you feel guided. However, please note, the Ascension material is densely packed with information and often overwhelming for people newly acquainted with these terms. Take in at your own pace. However, remain consistent and dedicated with your practice, and you'll experience many improvements, such as in mental and emotional freedom. So one is activate your 12D shield as a daily practice meditation. You can just go to YouTube and type in 12D shield, and you'll be able to find it's a 5-minute video. Clear negative ego fear programs. That's reprogramming your thought patterns, behaviors, and tendencies. Mental discipline through devoted focus and meditation to expand consciousness. Resolve emotional conflicts in the pain body. So this is doing emotional healing. This is clearing out traumas. This is healing your wounds. The ES Core Triad daily techniques. All these steps are a part of committing to the ES Core Triad practices every day. Let's see what that is. So the ES Core Triad, the core practices that are learned in the energetic synthesis community are to protect the human aura from high-risk behaviors, some of which are being promoted in many New Age materials that encourage channeling and astral projection without any type of learned psychic self-defense or grounding as well. Expanding consciousness is all about training the mind. The many free foundation materials such as the 12D Shield, the Psychic Self-Defense series, and the Ascension materials are designed to re-educate humans to access the higher truth of the current agendas on planet Earth. Through being informed, one is empowered to consciously participate with personal spiritual growth, expanding consciousness and cultivating energetic discernment through increased higher sensory perception. The controllers do not want this knowledge to spread, therefore they spread all methods to discredit and dismiss this information. The ES Core Triad practice is free on the Energetic Synthesis website. The ES Core Triad is also step 3 on the Crystal Aegis website. Oh, sweet. The website is right here, connected in. Wow, I'm gonna go ahead and take this website. Wow, this is awesome. There's probably so much more on this website too. Alien implant module, calibration manual, higher mind mentor, prepare foundation, energetic concepts. Wow, this is really cool. Thank you, Lisa Renee. This is Lisa Renee over here to the right in this image. the founder of Ascension Glossary and the Energetic Synthesis and the 12D Shield. Ooh, Kemetic Code Instructor with Copper Roses. Kem is Egypt. Boy, yeah, I'm going to put this link in the description for you guys afterwards, so you guys have that. Dang, that is cool. Awesome. We are so blessed. Like, David Icke is in the scene again. And he's making YouTube and sharing videos. And he just wrote a new book as well. So check out David Icke if you haven't. Here. Let's go ahead and close out. So, discipline your mind. Consistent meditation practice is helpful in training an undisciplined and cluttered mind to develop higher consciousness and finding inner peace. Meditation can be applied in many different techniques and is helpful for facilitating forgiveness and letting go of negativity in many forms. In the early stages of developing meditation skill, sit and relax and learn to observe thoughts passing through without having attachment to them. Once you notice the thought pattern, let it go and bring your focus back to the now moment. Wow. So, preparing for HGS session stage 1. HGS calibration. So this is authentically declare intention of service to God, activate and amplify 12D shield, the unity vow decree to establish handshake with unity field, the boundary test with GSF field. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. And you guys can check out more about that at your own leisure as well through this link. Wow, so that's the ES core triad. And then lastly, we have the light code symbol. The 6-pointed Star of David is a light code symbol that represents the first cause of sound frequencies, unifying function of Holy Mother's quintedness, the pure divine fire water within the alchemy of the Holy Spirit, the sacred animating force which controls the essence of organic and eternal life. And here that is for you. Wow, what an episode today. I know I'm putting this in my daily practices. All right. So that will be our education and reading on the crystal tone harmonics. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our final video for today. This is going to be embodying the crystal light body, the light body template, the golden light body, the diamond light body. Enjoy.
Today I'm going to show you how to activate the crystal light body. So first off, what is the crystal light body? It is a form of body that involves light and reflects light like a diamond, okay? And you are embodying the light body, the pure light, and the golden body. So it really activates once you reach a certain level of consciousness. And this is a template to get to the diamond light body. Once you activate the crown chakra, you are able to open this up to a new level of consciousness. And to activate this crown chakra, you need to embody this new form of light, right? And it is when you have freed yourself from limitations and are in alignment with oneness, with Source, right? So the first thing to get there is you need to embody the light body. And this is the purest form of your being, right? When all your energy centers are activated and cleansed from all the energies that we're not allowing them to spin. And this is different from the crystal light body that we're going to get to, okay? This is just pure light. You're a vessel, right? You're cleansed. And this is the first body that we need to embody fully, right? Because we are light itself, but there's a lot of blockages that are not allowing you to flow. To open up all the levels of your chakras, you need to expand your consciousness and understand the lessons within the wheels that were meant to be learned on Earth. So once you do that, because again, each chakra is a level of consciousness and each has a lesson. You can actually tell what level of consciousness you're in by your chakras, okay? So once you get to this point, you may become the light body in full embodiment, right? And accessing this light body can help you reach a even higher level of consciousness, including that of the Buddha state or Christ consciousness. It's really the same, right? After this, you gotta make sure you're ready to embody the next body, alright? And to keep evolving. The golden light body is the next one. In this body, we are going to dive even higher into the cosmic realms. So, this is the next chakra above the crown chakra, okay? And it is the activation of the cosmic heart, the golden heart, or the golden touch, as my guides call it. And this is where you can be in oneness with the universe to be an amplifier of light on Earth. So your aura field gets activated by this energy, and within this energy you can heal others while embodying the universe. Once this body is fully activated and embodied, you can then access the diamond light body. To embody the diamond light body, you first need to embody all the other ones, right? So the crystal light body is just a template for you to get to this point. So you have to, first embody the lower ones, and then you could eventually get here. And once you embody the diamond light body, you can have access to other dimensions and realities where you can learn from other realms that exist within your world, right? So this can be dimensions where the fairy tale animals live, or things that you never even thought existed. This also gives you access to other beings that you were not able to reach within the lower levels of consciousness, right? And at this state, you are basically not part of this world anymore, okay? Because your mind is usually somewhere else, whether it's in meditation form or you're not relating to things here anymore. You just wish to access more and more wisdom and whatever is out there. So these are the stages in which you will achieve a crystal light body. And essentially, this is where we all want to get to. My guides wanted to share this with you so we can evolve to this point where we have a choice to leave. This is the right way to leave from this world, actually, you know. It was never meant to be through illness or diseases, because all these, again, is just energies that we never actually cleared from our bodies and or done the work, right, to become a ChristoLight body. And so we eventually want to have a choice to leave this way by becoming the diamond light body, right? If you do have any questions, make sure to leave them below and I'll get to you. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video.
Alrighty. So, how are we feeling about the clarity of what our light body is, our DNA, and these crystal tones that make up the harmonics of our 12-strand DNA? Do you guys have any questions? Feel free to drop them in the comments. If there's anything else that you want to share or add to this, feel free to drop in the comments as well. But with that, we'll get ready to do our closing. In our closing, I have for us a third eye chakra attuned quartz singing bowl. And I'm going to utilize its frequencies a little bit. And then I'm going to lead you guys through vocalizing the crystal tones for activation. Now, you guys can do this with me if you would like and repeat these tones as I do it, or you can just receive and be open and just focus on meditating. Completely up to you, but both ways are fine. And if you just want to observe and that's it, that's okay too. Or if you just want to turn this off and not be a part of this, that is also okay. So go ahead and get yourself cozy. You can sit, lay down. If you're in motion, that's okay too. Starts with the mindset, just having an open mind and setting the intention that we are open to receiving these frequencies and that we are receiving these frequencies. All right. So with that, relax your body, relax those shoulders, relax those fingers and toes, relax the jaw. Now begin to focus on breathing. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out of the mouth. In through the nose. Out of the mouth. All right, continue to focus on the breath. And then I will lead us through these sound tones. And you guys can repeat these after me if you would like. So here we go. It is ka, ra, ya, sa, ta, a, la. So it is ka, ra, ya, sa, ta, a, la. Something like that, of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You guys can either receive, you can mimic after me, whatever you feel. But let's get it started. Breathing through the body. Karaya Sata Allah Ra Ka Ya Sata Allah. Staying with the breath. Kara Yasa Ta'ala Karaya Satala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala. Why does that sound like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Please explain that to me. Wow. Is that the same frequency of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? How I wonder what you are. Oh my gosh. What are the lyrics to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Can somebody put it in the comments? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So high, like a diamond in the sky. Holy smokes! I think I just realized that Twinkle, twinkle, little star is the same harmonics as these crystal tones. Okay, keep on breathing. Wow. Deep breaths, clearing out our system, clearing out any negative thought patterns, any behaviors or struggles right now. Let's go ahead and breathe it out intentionally with these tones of Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala. One more time. Ka ra ya sa ta Allah. How are we feeling? How does our electrical energy feel? How does our blood feel? How does our cells feel? How does our mind feel? Take a couple of breaths if you need and just really tune in to these frequencies. And we came to a realization that Twinkle Twinkle Little Star might be in the same harmonics of these crystal tones. Because I read it, Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala Karaya Sata'ala. Come on. That's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Or row, row, row your boat. Yes. Row, row, row your boat. But yeah, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, though, that one really resonates for me because it's talking about being a diamond in the sky. And what is this episode about? It's about activating your crystal tone harmonics so that you can activate your diamond sun body of the heavens. Like, wow. Golly. So Rhonda has it here. I'll read it for you guys. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Diamond somebody. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle, all the night. Then the traveler in the dark, thank you for your tiny spark. He could not see which way to go if you did not twinkle so. In the dark, blue sky you keep, and often through my curtains peep. For you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. Wow. Holy smokes, man. I mean, I always knew our nursery rhymes back then were very activating and connecting to our cosmic hood. But man, no wonder why these nursery rhymes are not utilized anymore in the childhoods of today. It just makes sense that they slowly push these things away and just dismiss them as nursery rhymes for kids. All right, I'm back. My laptop died. Should have paid attention. Wow, though. This twinkle, twinkle, little star, though. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above, the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. The diamond sun body. Then it talks about when there's nothing shines upon, then you show your little light. Twinkle, twinkle all night. Then the traveler in the dark, thank you for your tiny spark. The traveler in the dark, that's talking about us that incarnate, come into these lower dimensions of darkness to be the light in the dark. Thank you for your tiny spark. He could not see which way to go. And that just means in these lower dimensions, you're full of amnesia. You feel like you're disconnected from the truth, to the Godhead. So it's traveling through the dark. You're not knowing which way to go if you did not twinkle so. So if you don't twinkle, as in if you don't activate your light and you don't allow your light to lead you through this world, then you're going to be full of darkness around you. So, wow. Whew. That is amazing. Amazing stuff. What a way to close out this episode today. That was very unexpected. Very unexpected. Wow. So I thank you guys for joining me on this wonderful episode of the crystal tone harmonics of our crystal body. If you guys have any questions, if you'd like to book one-on-one healing services with me, if you would like to check out and register for any retreats that I have coming up, including my New Year's retreat that will be taking place in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, or you would like to check out some of the clinical grade international organic reishi coffee that I also distribute, or maybe you want to browse and check out the Sacred Kingdom community and all the different practitioners and visionaries that you can connect with in your daily basis. So you can check out this QR code in the corner of the screen for my link page, where you can find all of this in one spot, as well as my socials and the YouTube channel. If you haven't liked, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sacred Light Broadcast Network, I appreciate you guys. And you guys tune in later today at 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be producing the Soul Awakening podcast with Sandra Marshall, and she will be talking about her journey of yin and yang and universal laws at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it here on the Sacred Light Broadcast Network or on my Facebook, ChristoLight Robbins, or you can go support Sandy and like and share her YouTube channel, Soul Awakening with Sandra. So that will do it for today. I love you guys. Stay blessed. One love. (2023) Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending. Thank you from the Sacred Light Broadcast Network and Sacred Light Productions for tapping in and tuning in to all live and replay content, holistic, conscious, for your empowerment. Tap in to the Christ light within. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember that you are the one that you have been looking for. Enjoy this content. If you would like to collaborate or receive production through myself, Marcus ChristoLight, direct message or email me at marcustut23@gmail.com to discuss details. Wholeness and balanced love. Ashe.